CPN numbers have a storied history and are surrounded by a lot of controversy. There are two sides to every story, and CPN numbers are no exception. There are people who say they are illegal, and then there are those that say they are just fine. Note, we are not attorneys, so we cannot provide you with a legal opinion, but like the others, we do have our own opinion. If you want a legal opinion, please consult your own attorney. It is my non-attorney belief that CPN numbers are legal strictly due to the fact that there is no specific law against the use of them. People who oppose this theory say that if you use a CPN number on a loan application, you are, by virtue of using a CPN number instead of a Social Security number, intentionally defrauding the lender because you are misrepresenting your credit history. I would agree with them, if, of course, the lender actually asked you about your credit history and you lied about it. Unfortunately, in most cases, the lender does not ask you about your credit history. All they do is ask you to put in your Social Security number, and they go about determining your credit worthiness on their own. You don't get to pick the credit bureau they use. You don't pick the scoring model, and you don't get to add any positive items that are not being reported, even though the Equal Credit Opportunity Act clearly states that lenders must take into account all of your credit history. In addition, the Privacy Act of 1974 seems to imply that you are not required to provide your Social Security number if you don't want to. These two facts lead me to believe that the use of CPN number is, in of itself, not illegal. However, just as with a gun, it can be used illegally, especially if you tend to get a loan knowing up front that you have no intention of paying it back. Some people say you are defrauding the lender because the lender is pulling credit based on the CPN number and not getting the entire picture of your actual credit history. My argument to that is, besides the fact that they didn't ask you about your credit, what if you used legal loopholes found in the Fair Credit Reporting Act to remove an account from your credit report that was never paid? Would you be defrauding the lender by not telling them about the item that was removed from your credit reports, even though you may still owe the money? There is an entire industry providing credit repair, an industry whose sole purpose is to remove negative items from your credit report that may or may not be legally due to the creditor. The funny thing about this is the industry is 100% legal and regulated by the government. If CPN numbers are illegal because of the fact that lenders don't get a full picture of your credit history, then the entire Fair Credit Reporting Act should be withdrawn, as it is being used to remove negative items from a credit report, and everyone knows that a simple removal from a credit report does not mean that that debt is not actually owed. With all of that being said, my arguments and opinions would seem to support the development and use of a CPN number. I do, however, have another shocking opinion. Although I think that the development and use of a CPN number can be done legally, I firmly believe that developing and using a CPN number is a big waste of time, effort, and money. That's right. It's a big waste of time, effort, and money. If you fill out the form on our website, I will explain in detail the following statements of fact. 99% of people coming to us for a CPN number cannot use them in the way they initially intended. Most people are shocked when they hear how long it will take to actually develop a CPN number and get their first $1,000 cash credit card. Others are puzzled when they find out that adding trade lines to a CPN file won't speed up the process one bit. Almost all are bewildered that the solution to their credit and funding problems rests with a simple, non-controversial solution. We want you to be able to make an informed decision. We believe in full disclosure so we both can sleep at night. To learn everything you need to know about CPN numbers, please fill in the form on our website or call us.